Why sex feels off with an avoidant partner. Sex feels different with an avoidant spouse. And if you've experienced it, you know it's not always about technique, attraction, or even love. It's about emotional distance. With an avoidant partner, intimacy can feel paradoxical. They may initiate sex, they may enjoy it physically, they may even crave it in moments, but something subtle feels missing. It's like their body is present, but a part of them is elsewhere. That difference isn't random. It's rooted in attachment patterns formed long before you ever met. Avoidant individuals learned early in life that closeness can feel overwhelming, intrusive, or unsafe. So even in marriage, even in commitment, their nervous system associates deep emotional vulnerability with danger. Sex, which for many couples is a bridge to connection, becomes for them a complicated space, one where desire and defense operate at the same time. You might notice that after moments of intense closeness, they pull away. After a passionate night, they become distant the next day. It's not because the experience was bad. Often, it's because it was too intimate. Emotional exposure activates their protective instincts. For an avoidant spouse, sex can sometimes feel safer than emotional conversation. Physical intimacy allows closeness without prolonged eye contact into their inner world. It provides connection without having to articulate fears, insecurities, or dependency. That's why you may notice that your avoidant partner can be sexually engaged yet emotionally reserved. They might focus heavily on performance or physical pleasure, keeping things in the body instead of the heart. And when sex begins to feel deeply bonding, when it involves vulnerability, tenderness, or emotional surrender, they may unconsciously create distance. You might feel confused, wondering why something so intimate feels slightly disconnected. The answer lies in how avoidants regulate closeness. Their system seeks independence even inside intimacy. So while you might experience sex as a merging of souls, they may experience it as a temporary closeness that needs to be balanced with space afterward. Another reason sex feels different is that avoidants often struggle with sustained emotional presence. They may avoid prolonged affection, deep pillow talk, or extended cuddling because those moments require staying emotionally open. Their comfort zone is autonomy. Too much emotional dependency, even if loving, can trigger discomfort. This doesn't mean they don't care. It means their wiring associates vulnerability with loss of control. You may also notice cycles, periods of strong sexual connection followed by cool detachment. It can feel like waves, intense closeness, then retreat. That push-pull dynamic mirrors their internal conflict, wanting intimacy but fearing engulfment. Sometimes sex becomes the only time real closeness happens. Outside the bedroom, they may seem distracted or emotionally unavailable. Inside it, they may appear more connected, but once it's over, the walls go back up. This pattern can leave you feeling lonely even while being married. You might start questioning your attractiveness, your desirability, or your worth. But the truth is, the difference you feel isn't about you, it's about their attachment style. Avoidant partners often disconnect from their own deeper emotions. If they aren't fully connected to their own vulnerability, it becomes difficult to offer it consistently to you. Sex then becomes compartmentalized, separate from emotional bonding. For some avoidant spouses, sexual intimacy may even function as reassurance of control. They may feel safer being desired than needing someone. There's a subtle but powerful difference between wanting and needing. Avoidants often prefer to feel wanted rather than dependent, and deep emotional sexual bonding requires mutual dependency, which can feel threatening to their independence. The key to understanding this dynamic is recognizing that sex is not just physical, it's attachment activated. For someone with secure attachment, sex deepens closeness. For someone avoidant, it can activate fear of closeness. That's why communication is crucial. When emotional safety increases outside the bedroom, sexual intimacy often shifts too. Avoidance can learn to tolerate deeper connection, but it requires patience and self-awareness. If you're married to an avoidant spouse, understanding this dynamic changes everything. Instead of interpreting the emotional distance as rejection, you begin to see it as protection. Instead of chasing after their withdrawal, you create stability and calm presence. And ironically, when avoidants feel less pressured to perform emotionally, they often soften. Sex begins to feel less like a guarded exchange and more like shared vulnerability. It's not that avoidants can't experience deep intimacy. It's that their path to it is slower and more complex. When emotional safety builds gradually, when autonomy is respected, and when vulnerability is not forced, sex can transform from something slightly disconnected into something deeply meaningful. The difference you feel isn't imaginary. It's attachment playing out in the most intimate space of marriage. And once you understand that, you stop personalizing the distance and start addressing the pattern. Because intimacy isn't just about bodies touching, it's about nervous systems feeling safe enough to stay open.